Well, I got to turn my camera around. What here? Let's see. Oh, you go back to Zoom. That's it. Got to go back to Zoom. It goes up with the YouTube screen. Comes up with the YouTube screen, and so it's not wasn't showing me the Zoom. And I got to get this going in the chat. Pop out. And then Zoom. And we go back. We go to this here, and I put the link in the chat. Oh, Moses the garden toad. Yes, there is a Moses the garden toad. And I think I can relate to the frogs in the box. And why is there a Moses the garden toad? What do toads do for your garden? They eat mosquitoes, they eat flies, and things like that with their sticky tongues. Hey, Rob. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to copy the link. I got to copy the link from Messenger that I sent to myself. Copy, and I got to go to there and paste it. Paste there. Now, I had some things. I noticed some things about what's going on. This thing about the auction deal, or somebody, or the entity, just like the GPS, mysterious, no named, and if they have no name, why do you give them credit? Why do you give them credit if they use a fake name? Why do you give them credit if they have a no name, anonymous, can't present proof that they actually have the treasure? If you are about to make a deal on this thing, Packer Jack, you need to get down to, if they say it's in Texas, you tell them, okay, I'm going to come down there and you're going to show me this thing before I give you a fucking thing. I'm going to lay my hands on it before I give you 1 cent. So that hasn't happened. That's not going to happen because these people don't have it. I've heard here they're talking, Josh Jordan is the one he's talking with, or something. And it's like, you seen Josh Jordan's videos? You know, nothing personally, Josh Jordan, but you know, he's got video. Oh, Zoe's supposedly hanging out with some recreational druggist, you know, or whatever. And that's Josh Jordan's video. Okay. I don't think that if you had access to the treasure chest, if you actually had the deal on it and it was yours, you wouldn't be making, you wouldn't be doing that shit against his friend's family. You know, you wouldn't be. No. So it's somebody who has some waffles to burn, or we'll say. There's some waffles need cookies cooked too, but do they put bananas on twat waffles? Oh my God. And I guess Barbara wants to see my Academy Award. I have to go get it out of my storage. I'll get one. Actor my ass. And that other guy didn't. Oh, what if Bill Gorman's not even Bill Gorman? Who else would I be then? I'd have to figure out who the fuck it was then. I mean, I'm the only one that come out with my own name, and everybody else has, jump, or we won't say Jumpin' Jack Flash, because Jumpin' Jack Flash might come join us. Yeah, this whole thing and the entity, and it's just bullshit. Whoever has the treasure chest, it says in the poem that if you're brave and in the wood, I'll give you title to the gold. Okay, that's a document. A title is a document. And anybody who has title to the gold should have a document to prove it. And do we see one? No, we've never seen a document proving anybody owns it. Still, it's under Forrest Fenn's care. He covets things. He made the rules. He's still running the game from below the grave. And speaking of graves, he goes sit on a headstone. Oh, he's got that picture of him holding the tombstone, right? And what do we see Moses holding? Don't they look like tombstones? How do you know they're 10 Commandments if you can't read them? There might be tombstones. Okay, so, and then J.D. Salinger on the bluff represents Moses up there on the bluff, the one that Leo Salazar showed him and said that's where Moses received the 10 Commandments. And that is the blaze, it's the burning bush. I have no idea how many are watching. There's one way to find out. There's only Rob in here said hello in the chat, so I don't know if, or maybe my chat stopped and it started again. I don't know. Let me see. I can't remember what I was going to look up. I'm not on the page to look it up anyhow. On the internet. Oh, that's what I was going to look up. My video. How many are watching? My homepage. 6. Okay. Well, I already snuffed out what. Who's that guy? Whatever, Pete, Italian kid. These kids they're half my age and come out and tell you to get off the internet and stuff and think that they're important. We're too important. You got to get off the internet. One thing I say about the internet is every night streaming. Everybody wants a night to stream. I try and do it only once a week. Sometimes I'll be on my channel maybe once a week at the most, but I might be on some others during the week. But I don't go and do 7 days a week where and where you've got the captivity of the majority of the people watching, because the majority of the people watching are losers. There's only one winner and 300 and some thousand losers. Or if, as what's his name, Ben says, 150,000. Even there's still one winner, 150,000 losers. Either way, or 100,000 losers. So there's only one winner in the game, and you had 100,000 people went to Firehole. Obviously not there, was it? Let's follow the most popular people to the most popular search areas. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's right, because it's not what you were thinking. Yeah, and I spelled everything correctly in the title. Oh, I'd like to have some guests there. Yeah, an actor, my ass. You know, I've been nominated for an Academy Award at least. And it's my kind of Halloween shirt. George Thorogood and the Destroyers. Oh, my nose itches on the outside. I should go down to take a swim in the county swimming pool. It's indoors. It's a free thing. You got to pass to get in there. Yeah, let's see. Is there anybody chatting yet? Oh, connected jerks nook store. I know who the winner is. You know who the winner is. Yeah, old Moses. Bill Gorman's the winner. Well, I know it. Forrest Fenn did his little ceremony. The hand of God, doffing the hat. And if people don't know what the fuck that means, don't know what body language is and hand signals, Forrest is giving hand signals to his employees to go get this piece of art for me. When I show you this hand signal, you go get it. And you know, and the picture shows clearly, you know, here's the hand of God. That's what George Washington, that means handing the nation to the people. He's handing the treasure to me. His hat's off to me for a job well done. I mean, and then he gets, I'm going to wear this hat that I call mildew because it smells bad. And, why is Pagosa Springs called Pagosa Springs? Pagosa means smells bad. Oh, the hat. Okay, the creek, it smells bad. It's the deepest warm water halts at the bottom of the world's deepest hot spring. Boom, boom, boom. Put your foot down, and then you put your other foot down and step on it, right? Step on it. What are you stepping on? The freaking gas pedal to go to the next checkpoint. Oh, there we go. We show it. Yeah. Brian, hey Brian. I didn't realize that message was sitting there waiting for my approval. Yeah, is that and for real, let's sell it to somebody. Forrest wanted somebody without a job, lost their home, you know, maybe somebody that's down to living in their RV, you know, trying to make ends meet with what they got, you know, not, he didn't intend for some multinational investor type to get it. And Jack Stoof doesn't own the treasure. He can't sell the treasure. And also, if it's at heritage auctions, it's already there to be auctioned. There is no sale before an auction. It would be, and I get emails from Heritage, and there's been nothing about Forrest of auctions coming up, and there's nothing in there. No notifications of anything Native American, New Mexico, nothing. Maybe maybe we would need to get a hold of one of the news stations there in Dallas and have them check which heritage auctions on it, and have them go, what do they say about counting your eggs before they're hatched? So anybody can write letters and say they have this and that, and this is happening, and make it sound official and all that. But until you actually go there, take the thing out of the vault and open the lid and examine it, if they ain't got the ability to show it to you, then they don't own it. They don't own it. These are things to stuff like this being promoted to piss off the real finder. to try and get the person to do something crazy. I don't do criminal things. I just don't do criminal things. And I don't go around suing people. Some people we know. And the thing is, once I have it, nobody else, everybody has shit on Moses, okay? Everybody shit on Moses. And nobody else has claimed Moses was their solution. So what if then when Bill Gorman gets it, and somebody says, "Oh, I thought of Moses long before Bill Gorman. I looked at the Model A cowl, that was, and I knew where it was." And yeah, bullshit. You're only saying that shit after the fact, after Bill Gorman said it's Moses, and everybody said bullshit. I own Moses now, practically. But and I don't know, whoever has the wooden Moses, I think that should be mine. Nobody else has claimed him. Jack Stoof has claimed to have destroyed the wooden Moses. No. I don't think you're allowed to burn wooden Moses. I think there might be consequences. That's sacrilegious. It's pathetic. Yeah, Granny. Somebody complained I got too many Double Blazes shirts, so it's George Thorogood and the Destroyers. And on the back it says, "Bad to the bone." And that's a dog doing a cat. Ow. Ooh, pinch my arm between the chair and the table. Yeah, and they put this shit out there with this extreme confidence that anonymous name. We're so certain that the man behind the mask is authentic. It's like, not unless he's the fucking Lone Ranger. Yeah, he couldn't even spell his name right. Hey, Lily. I drink alone with nobody else. Barbara is saying she was pranked, but now I heard her emotion, the term fraud. She was fraud. No, she wasn't frauded. The thing was over before she ever searched. It was over in 2017. I had the Buffalo Cowboy car in 2016. The Bullet. What was the thrill? The thrill of the chase? The movie Bullet with Steve McQueen. And what was he driving? A Ford. It wasn't a Mustang Cobra GT, but it was still a Ford. And the thrill of the chase was that jumping, and so Forrest is jumping in the book, and I don't think the cars went through any water, but they did a lot of jumps. I jumped. There's the top of Taylor Street is a and it's steep. And my friend told me hit the gas. I did, and we flew. We were at least 6 feet off the ground. We were higher than the cars in Bullet. And the car just landed perfectly, back wheels first, and then the front wheels just perfectly. Didn't drag, because it's downhill like that, you don't come down on the ground hard because you're still going down the hill. Hey, meat man. Nook store. Yeah, and my Moses figure is in a nook. He's right next to this big black crack in the rock. There's a big black crack in the rock. Speaking of that, I found something on the road. Maybe if somebody else gets on here and they're talking, I'll go grab that out of my car. What I found on the road. Right. Was it at the end of my street? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. So I had to go. I went to get propane yesterday, and I got there, and there's somebody with their truck backed up to the tanks, and they got like 6 100-pound tanks and about 15 little 20-pound tanks, and I'm like, oh fudge. And I get there and I wait, and finally it's my turn, and they're filling the guy before me, his last tank, and they think, oh, we're out. So I didn't get propane. I told the story that you ought to have a policy that single tanks interrupt the progress of multiple tanks. If you have a single tank, you should be able to come to the front of the line. If you have multiple tanks, you've got one of them filled, maybe fill them one, but anybody else comes up with a single tank, you got to wait for their single tank to be filled before we continue with your fucking super tanker, It kind of ticks me off because I'm a regular customer there, and should be a little they need a policy for that. That's crazy. When you have that much, you should, if you need that much propane, call the propane company and they'll put a big tank on your lot and you're set. Okay, you don't need to go freaking empty in the one where everybody goes to fill their bottle or two. Most I ever go there with is 2 bottles. I showed 3 fingers. I got 3 bottles, but usually the most I ever have empty at once is 2. Usually, because I always have a backup, and I'll be able to put that way. I can run my refrigerator while I go and fill propane. I give myself B12 shots once a month in the leg. Yeah, the bank teller in Alamosa. Yeah. Alamosa, you look at it, it says Alamo. And it also says Mosa. Mosa is Moses. What does Alamo mean? Definition of Alamo. Franciscan mission. No. Alamo is a mission. No. Definition is a popular tree from the Southwest area. The Alamo is a popular tree. A poplar tree. Okay, so the Alamo is a poplar tree. So there's a poplar tree, and Moses is taken from water. So a tree in the water, basically. And I think that's the cottonwoods, or what's here that's grows all along a lot of the rivers, cottonwoods here in Colorado. And they're fairly hard wood, I believe. So it's a poplar tree. The Alamo is no place for dancing. It's a stripped down, bare bone, dark and stormy gem of a song. And the vocals, Alvin Marker's Green Song, have moments of Simon and Garfunkel, essential. Yes, it's a good thing. The Alamo is no place for dancing. By the scene artistic. Aesthetic. And what's else it say about it? No, it's not. Oh, it has the video. There goes my inverter. Dang inverter. Turn that off. I don't have to see. And all I lost power on was my printer. Now I got to get back to the chat here because nobody's coming in to talk. Yeah, the canopy is down here, Highway 145. Do I have those pictures on my phone? I know I sent them to somebody. But there's a marker, the BLM marker at the Rio Grande River and Highway 145 east of Manassas. It talks about how dark the skies are, and you can see all the stars in the Milky Way and stuff. And it's one of the darkest places around for viewing stars. It's under a canopy of stars. That's right where I am. This whole valley right through here is very dark outside, and except for there's a half, almost, it's about a 3/4 moon right now. So it's kind of light outside. But when there's no moon, the stars are, the sky's just covered with stars. That's a canopy of stars to me. That was weird. I didn't think the wind was that rough to. Sounds like something walking on that metal out there. Might be a coyote, huh? Because is Jack inside? No, maybe he's outside. Maybe that's why. That's him. That's probably Jack out there. Can they see him? Open the window. Look out there. It might have been Jack. The gate swung open. I don't know why. It's just a hook that hooks it closed so the hook can fall off. So nothing, you know. Wind. When you don't have a light from town, it must be amazing. Yeah, it is amazing here. I can see the lights in town. I can see when the train pulls out 13 miles away. It's just flat going all the way there. I can see the train coming. When you see it leaving town, then you know about 20 minutes later it's going to be coming by here. Okay, there. Yeah. Oh, we got. I'm gonna make a cartoon called Psycho Lawyer. Psycho Lawyer. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was what is it? Justin Posey or Josh Jordan? I get them too confused. But whoever it is claims they have some sort of access to that chest. Even Jack Stu. Where's the title? You know, even in American Graffiti, you race for pink slips. You don't have the pink slip, we're not racing. You ain't got the title. Well, no, I can't use that one, Ricky, because my dog is Jack. Hey, Brent or John, whichever it is. I don't know if you got your name switched around or what. Teacup's empty. Gummies aren't. Yeah, green apple. So who's gonna come in and chit chat? Maybe I better let's see. Yeah, invite. I don't know. How do I get back? Invite. Zoom contacts. Oh, come on. It showed them to me. It just flashed them on the screen and it took them away. Yeah. Okay, now we're back. I don't know if it showed me or my little icon while I was doing that. I got lots of good rocks. I live on a bed of crystals. Had Chinese food for dinner. Oh, it was good. And did I read my second Forrest? I read one of them. Where was the other one? I had two of them. Your present plans are going to succeed. Good. Where'd my other one go? Is that it? That's it. They gave me 2 cookies. If you order 2 of the things, I could get the Szechuan beef and sweet and sour pork. I wonder where sweet and sour pork ain't been coming with the sauce or something. I don't know. Something's wrong with that, man. Maybe we gotta try the other Chinese restaurant. New financial resources will soon become available to you. 1, 11, 20, 25, 28, 49. Says money's coming. Brett, is that it? ET, and then yeah, I don't know if any of them are going to come in. And I get a kick out of K-Pro. The just referring to you know the 7%. She's trying to say crazy people, but she's one herself. You're crazy, K-Pro. Crazy, fucking nuts in the head. Maybe not as much as that lawyer, but you're still nuts. You go to school that long for I don't know. If you have to go to college long enough to get a PhD, you must have not have known anything when you got started, because usually people that, you know, I'm not going to learn anything if I go to college. Oh, they're going to try and teach me a bunch of bullshit. Turn me into a Marxist. Well, yeah, I don't know. Museum World Treasures in Wichita. It closed escrow yesterday. Yeah, horse shit. When the news reporter goes in and shows us, then I might believe you. When somebody from freaking NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, one of them, but I'm never going to believe somebody on somebody with a fake YouTube name. Yeah, there's no proof that it went to Texas. And you know, if it's gone to Texas and all this shit is true, if all this shit is true, my book is not going to be friendly to Forrest or anybody that screwed up this ending like this. Jack Stoof is some made up bullshit. The real winner has been ignored. And the real winner's getting pissed and trying to restrain himself. You know, you want to keep, send us the proof. Email me the proof. Email me the proof. Something from whatever museum world treasures. Horse shit. I need to look that up. I gotta look that up right now. Where is it? Boom, 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 boom. We're gonna look it up. Oh, come on. Well, their page they don't show. The witchcraft and occult and Halloween, spooky night of treasures, and they have some artifacts and things, but I don't see anything on their site about Forrest Fenn's treasure. Educate events. Events, coffee with a curator. Kids Halloween. If the biggest thing they have coming is kids Halloween and stuff, you know, and all this ordeal about Fenn's, and they, no, I don't see anything on their website about Fenn's treasure. Closed for Christmas. Don't go there on Christmas. Closed for Thanksgiving. Huh. Yeah, and they don't have a search on their website. But, you know, I could put the contact page up and give them a call tomorrow and ask them. Sunday, 12 to 5 p.m. Okay. I'm going to talk about it. I didn't see no proof. Cover up. Yeah, all this stuff is fake. You know, it's a magician getting you to look at this hand while the trick's done with the other hand, you know? They're putting out distractions and I got the link up at the top. Going public Monday. Yeah, it was supposed to be this last Monday, and now it's next Monday and the next one. And no, it's all horse shit. We got to see proof. Got to see proof. Just oh, we've got it. That doesn't fucking count. And if they do something like that with it, like I said, my book is gonna. I mean, oh, the chase is gonna the chase is gonna look like Bonnie and Clyde's car. Because I am detailing my solution, and my solution is it can't be beat. Just like the book on the notepad on Amazon, rocks, paper, scissors, nothing beats Moses. Yeah, Forrest's man is, you know, there's no way too much about what it was, what the real ending is. And all of these things are hoaxes. Jack Stoof is a hoax. This auction is a hoax. This museum thing is a hoax. Oh yeah. Oh, if it's gonna be I thought that the other guy up in the Packer dude, I thought he was making a deal with it. How can him and the museum both be making a deal on this? You know, there's got to be at least 10 more people that are making the deal. People with money burning a hole in their pocket, waiting to buy it. And when you spend that kind of money, you don't just, okay, I'll send you the money and you'll mail me the treasure, right? Yeah, you better make sure you're not from Nigeria, Packer Jack. Oh, wait till I tell the Nigerians about this one. We're gonna have all kinds of emails claiming to have the treasure, and you can have it. And that's hilarious. Hanging out what town? Topeka, Kansas? What is in Topeka? Nothing's in Topeka, Kansas. Anytime I've gone to Kansas, the mission was to get to the other side. Spend as little time as possible in Kansas. If you can, drive around it. Go through Oklahoma or South Dakota. Hang out in that town. The only place that was my favorite place. Which town? What town are you talking about? No, the karst was in Laos, Laos. The karst was in Laos. And a karst is a cliff that is porous and has water coming out of it. And what happened when Moses struck the rock with the water came out of the rock? Yeah, that's. It wasn't Cambodia, it was Laos. When the treasure sells, they need to disperse. Yeah, yeah, Brent. Only fair. Why? No, I worked. You didn't see me going up the mountain there. I'm going to die here, and it's going to take them 3 months to find me. You know, because I wasn't on the trails. I was trying to. Forrest Fenn said wasn't near the trail, so I wasn't looking near the trails. And who would have thought that old guy would have tried to get up that steep hill? You know, I had to stop every 25, 50 feet and catch my breath and stuff. But in fact, I want to go get some pictures of some more rocks. This one area of rocks I want, and it's like you got to park and then you got to walk around this field of big rocks. They're big. I'm not talking little rocks. These are mammoth-sized rocks. And then I had my where'd it go? Down there. I'm gonna show off. Everybody's. What's the thing about elephants, Bill? What's the thing about elephants? What is Forrest Fenn talking about? The elephants, and people stepping on the ants. Oh, what is that? Elephant rocks? Oh, Bill Gorman has pareidolia. He sees elephants in the rock. Well, the BLM does too, idiots. Yeah. Who's the idiot? But the BLM sees it too. All right. And you know what? I think them other channels, K-Pro and all that, they never watched any of my. They don't know anything about my solution. I don't have a video that's just I want to edit one together, but it's very complex because I got to show there's a map layer, and at the same time there's a layer that tells you what your targets are, and so but I have to start where warm waters halt and take you to the blaze, and then take you to the chest, and there's a little backtracking in that. And Fendi thought that the blaze was a couple 100 feet or something from the chest, and no, it's 5.5 miles or 5.25 miles, something like that. It's over 5 miles, less than 6, more than 5. I should, because as the crow flies, it's like 5.25 miles, but probably 6 driving. And you got to walk about 1/3 of a mile to where the chest was, which was the Buffalo Cowboy car. Try again later. Refresh, reload. Into Laos. And look at Laos. Just change that L to a T. Then you got Taos. And actually, this part of Colorado and my search area was part of Taos County. It was part of Taos County, and this was part of New Mexico, but they moved the line down further. But this was a part of New Mexico, basically, because it was Taos County, Taos County, and then they moved the line down further. Colorado must have had some more powerful politicians. While New Mexico, well, there was a lot of miners and stuff in Colorado, a lot of activity in Colorado, a lot more than was in New Mexico. And so Colorado was more the powerhouse, I guess, of the states there. So New Mexico lost some land. Yeah, he talked about having to go bomb some Chinese guy or something. And he knew, I think he knew Stevens. What was his name? Harold Stevens, who was a CIA guy, and that guy lived down in Indonesia or Thailand. He lived in Thailand, and he'd been a military spy, or actually helping China in World War II and stuff. And if Forrest was doing CIA missions where he was flying his plane where he couldn't talk about it and stuff, then he would probably knew Harold Stevens. And somehow, I guess Harold Stevens has sent me a pen request before he passed away. And so he was a friend on my Facebook friends. Still is. I go back to the chat, back to the chat, back to the chat. Where is anybody? Oh, let me see how many are in the room now. It's just a dozen or less, and it's kind of no fun. No fun. I don't like talking to myself. I do not like talking to myself. I'd like to have somebody to talk to, somebody to have dinner with occasionally, you know? Even people in relationship with someone else asking, do you love me? It's like, no, you're in a relationship with someone else. I can't, that's not possible. You can't be in a relationship with someone else and expect somebody to love you. You know, 6 watching, 8, is it 6 or 8? Is it new? 9, okay. So, yeah, what's Candy got a show going or what? People don't subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you miss it, you know? You subscribe, you hit the bell, and give you a notification. I never push that like the others, you know, but maybe I should, you know, but I'm not follow. I don't care if you follow my solution, you know, but I don't like the tactics of the other channels and the belittling and stuff from their regular guests, you know, and so like in the movie Sixth Sense, except I see a lot of ignorant people, a lot of ignorant people, and most of them watch those other channels, follow those other channels. They're totally lost. They don't have a solution themselves, so they borrow the one from them on their show. And air was whistling on my rim of my hat. Did I was checking to see where's my chair. I got a new chair coming. It left Jamaica, New York, October 15th, yesterday. It's expected delivery by Saturday the 16th. It left New York yesterday. It left China a month ago. They're so terrible with their shipping. And it's not just China, it's once it gets over here. You know, even if they misprint their shipping labels, all kinds of, it's terrible. Bombagar's gas station. Okay. Is the bomb. The bomb is the boom, the bang. The bang is the bullet. The bullet hole in the car. How deep is a hole? How deep is a bullet hole? The bullet in the Buffalo Cowboy car. He was brave to lasso that buffalo, and it was worth the cold because they all went in the creek and had to walk home 4 miles wet, and it's probably 40 degrees. You know, that's cold. It was worth the cold. People don't get that. That's why the Buffalo Cowboy car is the chest. The cowl is the chest. A cowl covers your chest. I mean, you can't beat the stupid out of somebody. That's all there is to it. You can't beat the stupid and the ignorance out of them. You can tell them 50 times what the fact is, that a cowl is a chest. And it has the bullet hole in it. I took a 50 cal to the nose. He's got a bullet hole. It's an exit hole coming out of the gas tank of this cowl chest, front piece of his Model A, Alpha Model A. And it's got a bullet hole, exit hole. So does Mildew the Hat, has an exit hole in it. There we go, Ricky. It has an exit hole. Hey, Ricky. Oh, I don't hear you yet. You get it?
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to snap into the audio, or
Yeah.
I'm still on VPN, so sometimes it takes like a half a second for it to flag.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for my freaking Starlink. Or it didn't. It's Elon Musk's internet.
Oh yeah, the pizza box.
Yeah.
The pizza
I'm
box is
waiting for
supposed to
my
be cool.
pizza. I put my deposit on February 12th and nothing yet.
No kidding. Well, they're not
Yeah.
cheap. I know that, but I think they were pretty affordable. Somewhere around, he was trying to make them less than $1,000. I know that.
It's $4.99.
Was it? It was like $500 or less, huh? That's nice. Service. I think
it's $4.99 and the shipping, and it's I already got $100 deposit, so I think I have to pay like $550.
No kidding.
So, and then it's $100 a month. But that's fine because I'll have my land paid for in March, and then I won't have that $100 a month. $120 a month. Yeah.
Buster. Just fed my kitty.
Yeah.
I set my porch.
Come over to barf a hairball on you, right?
Yeah, I set my porch up so I got something out here, and it's at least a covered patio space. So
Yeah.
I built the little cover out of foam, those foam panels, the 4x8, like built that above this area, and then just built a screened-in patio here.
Oh.
Just a place to be able to kick back.
That was a window to the inside, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was daylight inside the window, right?
Pretty much.
I was thinking, where's the sun still up?
Oh no. No sun. It's not that bright out there. That's what the screened-in patio is.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have a screened-in patio. This is nice to keep the bugs out.
Yeah.
And here in Idaho, they do get pretty big.
Idaho, the mosquitoes, yeah, they're big in Wyoming too.
Yeah.
In 1972, camping up there near Medicine Bow.
Medicine Bow, nice.
Near Laramie.
Laramie, Wyoming.
Yeah. I had cousins lived up there.
Oh, do you?
And in Guernsey, Wyoming, of course, had the Guernsey cow, right?
the Guernsey,
Wyoming, they have Gorman Chevrolet. They have Gorman Chevrolet in Guernsey, Wyoming.
Oh, that's cool.
I think they still do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was the Chevy dealer.
Nah, we were sitting there talking about Forrest being over in Vietnam, and he was stationed in, was it Ben Tui, and it was the air base that was there. And then I was saying how it seems interesting that that guy, a guy who was to his word, to his last word, trying to tell a story that would last on, that people could still come and find something, was all related. Almost everything that man said was related to finding who he was and how and where his favorite spot was. Even though he
Yeah.
told all about what was over there, he never did say it was there. You know what I mean? A lot of
Uh-huh.
people went out in the woods and died looking for it, and
Yeah.
because they weren't smart enough to understand that it's a bad place to be. But he said it's not a dangerous spot, and I would expect that a very less dangerous spot would be someplace where just about anybody could go and drive right to.
I think that down there, everything's dangerous down there because of the snakes, right?
Yeah, everything wants to kill you, and there is like five of them.
Everything
Snakes
deadly.
in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think black mambas and all of the pit vipers that live over in the Vietnam area. I asked my father about all that stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, they're crazy. The amount of the amount of wildlife that's on the ground there."
I got to do something with my.
Oh yeah, snake skins, nice.
It's from a Mojave Green
Shoo,
rattlesnake.
nice.
He was
Well,
right outside my door when I went out one morning.
there is the Great Desert there.
So he met me. Yeah, he had an encounter with Mr. Glock.
Yeah, the snake slayer.
Yeah, and really, I think the BB gun would have done him well. You know, because I'm a better shot with it.
Yeah,
And it would have gone right through his brain.
right. They're kind of snakes are something I don't like to run into, because
I
whenever it's
buried
been
the head about 2 feet down, and
well, it seems to me almost every time I've ever run into a snake, it's usually when you're out hunting somewhere and they're laying across the middle of a path.
and I got his rattle right here.
Yeah. Aren't they age related on those rattles? I think wasn't there like a 4 or 5 year as you get closer to the same amount of rattles are on the end? I don't know, but when rattlesnakes are very
2,
young,
3, 4, 5.
when rattlesnakes are very
Yeah,
young,
5.
it's all
So
black.
he's probably 5 years old, maybe.
Yeah, regular rattlesnakes, not Mojave greens, but regular rattlesnakes that we have around here. When their babies are born, they have a black tail. They're black rattler, and they're green like little pit vipers. It's really
Yeah,
freaky because I almost
yeah,
stepped on one many a time up by the
yeah.
Oregon
Elmo
Trail.
was a green pit viper. Mojave green is green. You
Yep,
can
they
tell when
are.
you see them in the sun, they're green.
Yep.
And he was fat, and he's only maybe 3 feet long.
Do you guys have rattlesnakes in that valley? I mean, not
Yeah.
rattlesnakes, scorpions. You have scorpions?
Oh, yeah. I've seen scorpions near Salida up in the hills.
Oh, so not far from you, they do have scorpions.
Yeah, I know there's scorpions there. Yeah,
Torrance
I seen
Blanca or
there's some jasper. I was getting some jasper. I've had a crop of jasper, and I was, fill my pack with some jasper.
oh, that's cool. Yeah,
And there were scorpions there.
my neighbor who just does lapidary, he actually got a big old rock and it was like a dual nodule, and it crazy as hell. He left this thing on, but he polishes them on a flat surface, so it was really strange looking. It's a very very strange looking rock. I should show it to you. It's kind of a neat thing, but um, you get them from the Oregon hills around here, so it's an actual Oregon rock.
Yeah.
That you can pick up off the ground, which of course we've done. A lot of great stuff like sea maggot, lots and lots of different. There's just so much out there, man. I mean, there's so much sitting on the ground and riverbeds, and when you talk about Forrest Fenn walking all the riverbeds, it's really cool when you go out and you're going looking for rocks. In the same way, you're always looking for a treasure, and you got in your mind what you're looking for, and you have to find it, and it's on the ground in front of you somewhere. Usually, it's right where you park. The first place you park
Yeah.
right where it's at, So I started looking around the truck right away because that's the treasure spot, man. It really is. You're just looking for a spot, or you're looking for a white place on a hill where you can find that, like petrified wood or something. It's all over out here. It's all over.
These scorpions were at 7,500 feet.
Oh man, that's freaky.
And I'm 7,650 feet right here.
That's another 3,000 feet above this. So that's high plains desert, no matter how you look at it.
I don't know. The mountain's only the base of the mountain is 7 miles from here.
Yeah,
where the trees and forests,
where the pinyon pines grow. Oh, I wish I hadn't told you that.
Yeah, and Moses is carved out of a pinyon pine.
That's right.
So he had pinyon nuts. That's why you'd smell pinyon nuts.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Pinyon nuts, huh?
Pine nuts are the most expensive nuts out there. They're like 149 a pound, man. The only other thing that goes against them, I think, is cashews. Cashews or something, or maybe it isn't cashews. It's the ice cream flavor, like that.
Pecans.
Well, pecans are very hard to get. You don't know from year to year if pecans are going to grow.
Yeah.
So no, I was thinking pistachios.
They got them at Walmart, and they were kind of high, so because I was making some pig candy.
Yeah.
And they said you could put pecan flakes on them, I went with coconut flakes because they were cheaper.
Nice.
And it was good with coconut flakes.
Woohoo! Get some lights going.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. I like that much better. Mucho better. No, I was trying to do those, those Atmos effects they've got on where you actually have a screen that transmits onto a screen. So I was going to put on a screen to my left here, to my right. Anyway, your left. And actually have it just like right out here in front. So it'd be kind of cool to see it from the roadway. It's got those ghosts kind of, they have little scare effects. Hell, you can even do, you look up to find the effects like that. It's called black background. So if you want to put it on like a small, like projector, you can set a projector up and put it up onto the window or something. It's kind of pretty neat stuff. 3D effect too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's going to be some. What do you think about this? Okay, Packer Jack's making a deal for the treasure, and the World Treasure Museum, the Treasure World Museum has it, and Heritage Auctions has it. So yeah, what's the real? They're all fake.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like there's some places in this world that are controlled by higher powers. I think somehow or another somebody got a hold of that money.
Yeah, I think the lawyers are still holding on. They're still doing whatever Forrest told them to do.
No, I have it. No, you have it. No, he has it.
Yeah, so they have it, and they're still following Forrest Fenn's instructions. He runs it from the grave. He's running it from the grave. He's in charge still. They're doing what he told them to do, hopefully.
I think that's what his whole plan was in the first place anyways. Kind of gets me. I haven't looked up yet, but I believe he's got a business that's in that valley you're in. I won't say what business it is, but it has to do with electronics and his nephew.
Oh, yeah. Yep, right across from the car dealer, huh?
Yeah, same thing with the best place to get the best place to mold something would be in a place where a guy does brass casting his whole life, and Salazar, I think, is his name, and he happens to know the guy.
Yeah, Leon Salazar. He lives in Manassas.
Mhm.
He's the son of Leo Salazar, who Leo Salazar showed him where Moses was.
It's begat, because there's so many people that I think all of those grants went through so many people. And this is just my impression of it, that the grants were passed and those have been held in trust. And that's why it's all going to be given to whoever it is, because it's in trust. It's been held in trust the whole time, but it's written on paper. And the only person that had the paper was where Forrest found it, in one of those books that he got from that nice sweet lady that used to send him books all the time and he would buy from. I think he found something that was very, very important in that. That valley. That's the only place in the United States. It's not actually United States. It's entrusted to Mexico as well as the United States. So it's in trust between, but it was written to individuals. So kind of like handed over. And you know all about those trusts.
So was that before the Alamo, before we kicked Santa Fe out?
I would have think when Forrest Fenn decided to swim across, the river, he intended to do so to prove that he could be just as good as his hero. He did it because he wanted to say, I did the same thing. Any man that would go 100 miles and survive, I just think Cody knew what he was doing. He was a running scout, and he wanted to be the same thing. That's what he was trying to grow up to be.
I did my mile swim in Boy Scouts in the Tuolumne River in Yosemite National Park.
Right.
Nice. I did my mile swim, and that's snow runoff. That's water coming out of Hetch Hetchy Dam, and that's all, way up there in the ice. It's very cold water. I did a mile swim. 17 minutes took to swim a mile.
Took you 17 minutes? That's amazing. That's an amazing thing. If you can swim a mile. The furthest I ever swam my first mile was in the Fremont National Pool, the one that Mark Spitz learned in. I swam in that pool. That was the diving platform there, but it was kind of cool. It's just outside of Campbell area. So it's international.
Yeah, a guy on my swim team was on the team with Mark Spitz. He was on the Santa Clara Swim Club with Mark Spitz.
Yeah,
but he was on my high school swim team, and he was the only guy faster than me, and really, and afterwards, afterthought, I thought, if I didn't pace him, if I was out there to kick his ass, I probably could have done it. But I pace him because I knew he had the winning pace, and then I couldn't pour it on enough at the end to get ahead of him. But he'd be like first and I'd be second and the other team third. 500-yard freestyle.
Does it seem like in today's world that honor doesn't mean very much when it comes to political theater and everything? What happened to people caring about people? And I think, and the best part I think about everything that I read about Forrest Fenn was the idea behind this was because he wanted people to have hope. And if you've ever been through a bad cycle in this country, you need hope. There's some horrible shit that happens in this country.
You know what?
But we got a lot of good too.
You know what? The blaze was on the Hope Mountain topo map.
I'm sure it was.
It was on the Hope Mountain. And the thing about the cats is Kitty Creek runs into Hope Creek.
What's weird is that whole town in New Mexico set up the same way. They all have these names that are all associated together too. So you have streets like Antelope and Pine and all the same pine groups. And I mean, I looked through all of Santa Fe for the longest time trying to find I was looking for every single spot that they had a shrine at. And I looked through almost every shrine that's located externally. Nice. A little bubbly. I spent a lot of time looking through New Mexico,
But
and 7.5 miles away, or 17 and a half miles outside of Santa Fe.
yeah.
No, I spent a good year, maybe two, doing my homework on that, reading the books and trying to follow it. And even today, I still think he's probably one of the most interesting, honorable men that I think I've ever, tried to follow. And actually, I emulated the guy. I thought it was really cool that anybody would do this for others. And it created so much interest that people went out and looked for it because they believed in his honor. They believed in what he said. So
yeah, I believe he's gonna make good, as long as the lawyers and all that he hired do what he instructed them to do, and aren't crooked and try and switch it around to somebody else that they favor and all that shit. Somebody that didn't solve it, nothing. That's horse shit.
I agree.
That'll piss me off.
It just looks like more political theater. In the end, it really will come down to, it's still out there. He just passed. Maybe it was his way of keeping the family and keeping people off of his family. It might have been a feign, but I've seen false flags before. And, all of this looks like, him giving hope to people. I think it's just another situation where it was like, I know what I'm going to do when I pass. I know what'll happen when this goes on. And if you tell a lawyer and you have it written down, and it's ironclad, they're going to stick to the plan unless a government entity or somebody else makes you sign an NDA to do something like that, because you can't talk about those.
Yeah, I was looking up, what's that? Where is it? There it is. Okay. I will look it up. You got to look it up on Street View, the name of this restaurant. I know you know it.
It's right on the corner.
Yeah, it is right on the corner. You know what one I'm talking about?
Yes, great little coffee spot. Love it. Ruses.
No.
Now, which one are we talking about?
The Mini Gourmet.
Edie Gourmet.
The Mini.
Oh, Mini Gourmet. No, I've never heard.
It used to have a different name.
Is this a pie shop?
It's on Moore Park in Bascom.
Yeah, it's a pie shop. Used to be a pie shop. Now is a coffee shop.
No, it was an omelet place.
Omelets. I know, but they made pies. That was the whole idea behind the pie and the story behind the tree and the whole half-eaten pie and all that.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Isn't that interesting?
You ever go to the bodega? Wait. If you're not that old, then maybe you haven't.
A bodega. Can you say bodega?
Bodega? The bodega in Campbell?
No, I don't believe I've been to the bodega in Campbell.
Wow, it's in the prune yard.
Okay, I know where that's at. I'll have to look that one up. I always think about the places right off of the old Toys R Us. It was there off of not 237, but something Boulevard. What the hell was it? Shit, it's been so long ago. I'm trying to think of all the areas that are around there. Hop off 101, come in. You got 237 and the crossover between.
What was that one? What about the old Falstaff beer can in the sky?
I know where you're at now. Okay, I got you.
They had a Falstaff brewery there in San Jose.
Yeah, Falstaff breweries. Now I know the cannery. Now my grandmother was in Sunnyvale and actually was in that cannery that was there. I still have that.
Right by Libby's fruit cocktail in the sky. My dad called it.
I still have the front sign that was on that Libby sign. My grandmother was given it. She'd been there the longest at that Libby's plant, so they gave it to her when she retired, and they closed the plant down.
Yeah, you know where Lawrence Expressway, where it goes over the railroad tracks.
Yes.
on,
Okay.
on the north side of that intersection, because it is kind of, Lawrence is kind of north and south, or
Yeah, it's off by,
in the rail.
20.
Yeah, it's kind of like, but that southbound ramp on Lawrence to go over the tracks, but it is where my family lived 1961, 62, 63.
That's
We
cool.
lived there in a farm. 15-acre walnut orchard was there. And that farmhouse was built in 1892. And I have the doorbell from that house on my RV.
Hey, dog.
Speaking
Hey,
of
bud.
ringing the bells, that bell's been with me all my life.
That's funny. That's funny.
Practically.
It's
Yeah,
weird how you keep stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah. I first met that bell when I was 3 years old.
Well, and I don't know if you ever did the Temple, Texas run when he started talking about where he'd been from Temple, Texas. So, I mean, I actually did my homework, went right back to where Temple, Texas was. And it kept saying, if that's his favorite spot, Forrest's favorite spot, you had to ask the same question. If he loved Temple, Texas so much, where was the last place in Texas? Somewhere right in that valley where you're at. That was the last place that Texas was before it became the state that it is today. It actually has a marker there at that location. And that marble marker, I believe, is the one that you and I looked at. And the more I've looked at it, the more I found, I believe that was the original marker. And then on the opposite side, of course, was the soldier fort in Blanca, just on the other side of it. So if you look back, figuring that, okay, going down that road through Main Street and all the way down the highway in the middle of that town, when you know what town we're talking about, as you go on the other side of that, that's where that marker was, in the middle of town, right there along the highway, which of course marked the main north-south way, but which would have been the east-west. And that was where Texas stopped, right in the middle of that town, just above the church, just above the driveway.
Yeah. And that was Taos County.
Yep. Yeah, I even went through Taos County, like I said, looking for every single prayer location or a temple or a spot that was open air.
I went by there's a Catholic church in Blanca.
Yeah.
And I went by there and got a bunch of pictures of that the other day.
Did you ever get on the thought that maybe when he started talking about, when Forrest Fenn started talking about that he's not he's a spiritual man, but not a religious man. Yeah. So I started looking through the churches and how does the church hold on to something? If you have a sin and you want it held and you can put a tithe to the church, what do you put it in? You put it in a box and then it's held inside the church by the monks in the areas there, and it's held in trust by the Catholic Church. Yeah. And those are a tithing that you pay, and then you got different rights. That's why the church did that. Yeah. You could give the church a whole bunch of money, put it in a box, and say it's for your claim or whatever to your way into heaven. And that the church would give you special rights to be able to do to whatever you wanted to, because you were holding favor in God by that box. So many of these churches are holding on to very large sums of money that were held in trust for many thousands of years.
Well, of course, money is the root of all evil.
It is. It is. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Yeah. You always have to have checks and balances. I thought it was funny when I started hearing the crazy stuff. I mean, not to be political, but when the Catholic Church and the Pope started telling him that he can't take communion, I'd say, let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
You know, the guy didn't understand what he's saying. You're probably up against one of the worst and most powerful nations in the world. I mean, the Catholic Church is an independent nation in its own.
These are my new progressive transition glasses.
Oh, the color ones?
in the sun they'll darken up some, but they don't darken up a lot. They don't darken up as much as I'd like them to. So I've got sunglasses for.
Did you ever wear contacts when they were the big heavy pieces of glass you stuck in your eye? Remember those days when you blink and the damn thing was in the middle of your eyeball?
They were flexible plastic when I got by the time I got them.
Well,
and,
they were
and I didn't do it long because my eyes are very dry because I got hypothyroid, and so I get dry eyes and stuff.
Gotcha. I'll be right back.
Okay. Then when he gets back, I gotta let Jackie in. Put $100 in my PayPal when I have it up sometime next week. Let's raise $24,000 for a car people's true treasure fans. You don't have a car, Brett?
Much better.
Brett wants us all to send him $100 so he gets $24,000 to get himself a car.
That would be nice. Man, that's the way to go too. 24 grand will get you there. 30,000 for the new Maverick. That's a nice little truck. That Ford Maverick.
Yeah, it's not even a car anymore. It's a truck.
EcoBoost engine.
Not like the 72 Maverick. Nothing like that.
Well, my wife had one of those when we met. Her dad had bought her one, which was actually pretty fucking cool. And it was baby blue. We called it the Blueberry. 72 Maverick.
Yeah. Let me see. There we go.
Like the Comet too. She drove it till she drove the wheels off of it. Actually, the wheel hubs actually like snapped. So it was riding toe out.
Yeah.
It's like, look.
I had a Honda Civic. And
God, the bubble ones?
The front brake shoes cut all the way through the front disc brakes, and so there's just discs floating around the. Go buy new rotors.
Drive the wheels off of it. Drive it like you stole it. By the end of it, you go, damn, come in sliding sideways. What a ride. I think, what was the first car? Oh, the first car I ever won in an AC/DC match. Somebody was playing me and he said, say pot. And it was like $300. And you say pot, if you get your card in the middle and you hit it, you either have to match that pot. Well, it was like $600. I says, well, hey, I got this car out back. So you want it? It was pumpkin orange. It was Catalina front wheel drive, 22-foot monster, convertible, white interior, white like top.
72 or something.
Mm-hmm.
This my mother had one, a big brown Catalina.
Yeah, big gigantic. But this one was pumpkin orange. They painted it pumpkin orange, the vest orange color. It was so funny. It was all hand shot. But I drove that thing all over California.
Yeah, I remember we went. It was my mother's car, and we went to a wedding that was the daughter of a friend of my dad's, and it was like up in. We lived in Fremont. And this was up in Calistoga, you know. And the wedding was. My brother got drunk, and all the way back, or a good part of the road, all the way back. You know, the little window in the back of the Catalina. My brother had his head out the window, throwing up down the side of my mother's car coming back from the wedding.
Those things were front wheel drive cars. It was amazing. You'd open up the hood, and it was like you could fit like a whole circus underneath that thing. It was so huge, but everything packed in there, all in the front wheels.
Yeah. And the Tornado was front wheel drive too.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, but that rounded back end and that whole thing on the Tornado versus the rounded back end on the Catalina, and the big fish the big fish mouth opening, you know, on the front. It was
Yeah.
basically it was like riding around on a cloud, man. I still
Yeah.
remember that car.
My brother was out in his Skylark and drove up a street sign, the stop sign, and the pole didn't bend over, and his car is like sticking up in the air on top of the stop sign.
Spin tires on pavement.
My brothers thought they could work on cars, but I was the only one that had auto shop. I knew how to work on cars. And when you know how to work on cars, you reach a point where you don't let people know that you do.
It's like, yes, I have a truck, and no, I will help you move.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Whoopi hasn't reached that point yet. Oh, he's there now.
I can't see the chat, so unless I
Yeah.
put it up on the screen. Well, you know what? I could put it up on the screen too.
What's
Hold on.
that?
I think I'll put it up on the screen. Oh, I'm trying to turn on my TV up here.
Oh,
there we go. So I can watch it, but I have to watch it through the app or the screen actually.
yeah.
So
I just have the chat going in the because it's not I can see what's on the Zoom.
I don't have a computer out here, so
window on my computer because it's tethered, and I don't have my Starlink yet, so that I can do everything on the computer.
Are you going to build on that property?
I don't know. Is the treasure coming or not? I'm going to have to start doing something. It'll be paid for next year.
That's awesome.
If I had the treasure, I could buy the whole block. And then I could have my own little village.
I'm looking for your subscription. I've got it in here, so then I can watch the chat. Here we go. I got you. Now I can watch the chat. Hey, look at me. My big face is on there. So we're watching from the big screen. Oh yeah.
That's like being big computer.
Now I can read your comments because I didn't know what you were saying before, but now I can see it.
If I believe you're right, I haven't shown you guys my IT degree.
Yeah, no shit. You know, it's funny when you meet people, you have no idea what their classification is, what they've done in their life. And it's so amazing. I ran into a Green Beret the other day. He was in the smoke shop and he walked in, little guy, wasn't very big at all, but he had this huge Green Beret ring on. It must have been probably $3,000 or $4,000 worth of with jewels and everything. But it was from the number one place you would want to go to if you were a ranger. Some of that.
Now for me that might be Lake George.
Lake George. I don't know. Shit, I'm just
battle on snowshoes, Fort Ticonderoga.
Fort Ticonderoga. See, I never did go in service. One thing I found was interesting is I was really happy that my family all had been in the service. I learned a lot from it, and a lot of respect comes along with knowing a lot of veterans. And I've got some pretty amazing stuff. Like your gigantic. I don't know if I ever showed it to you, but I've got when my father passed, my grandfather had a Korean War flag, and it actually has the Japanese insignia on it, and it's from Iwo Jima, and it has like 30 guys' signatures on it. I don't know if it'd be the bad thing to do, bring it out here and show it to you, but I just don't know if that's something you would want me to do, but I'll tell you about it. But I was really impressed. I'm sending it to the National Archive already, so I'm hoping that they'll take a look at it. But then again, I don't want anybody federal getting their hands on it, but I'd love for veterans to see it, because I think it's something that many of those guys are gone, from Iwo Jima and beyond. They're gone.
Yeah.
I really want to show it to you, and I don't know if you're okay with it. Are you okay with it if I bring it out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, my ancestors were the Rogers of Rogers Rangers. There was 4 brothers who fought in the Rogers Rangers. The oldest was Richard Rogers was the oldest, and James Rogers, and then Robert Rogers, who was the most popular, famous one, Major Robert Rogers, and then a little brother John Rogers. And John Rogers went down to the Carolinas and trained the Cherokees how to fight, and they were fighting for the British in the war. That's
This is the Japanese flag.
It's the imperial flag.
It is the Japanese imperial flag of the sun, of the rising sun.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if you're interested in seeing it, but I'll show it to you.
Yeah. My kid probably likes to see that. My grandkids are all half Japanese.
It still has stains from where it was in water. So this was not anything. This was from, like I said, from the front of Iwo Jima. Many men's names on it, and so they all put their station names, but none of them put their rank or serial or any of that info.
You know a place that might museum, the Punch Bowl.
Yes, and I actually have a family member, Henry, with his father. He still lives in what is that little town that's supposedly the surf mecca of the world there in Hawaii?
The North Shore, on the North Shore.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's in the North Shore.
Oh, I remember going there, driving around the island, and they had a rainstorm, and I went through this puddle of water in a rent-a-car, and the water from the back wheel sprayed up into the back bumper and blew the back bumper off.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
Going through water.
I don't know if you can see this, but I'd like to put a little light on it. But I have a small token from the Green Zone that was the United States area in France and Europe. This was my grandfather's war lighter, and it actually has the Green Zone written on it, and something he kept and passed on to me, and I thought it was really neat because that was
what island was that?
That wasn't an island. That was Europe.
Oh, that was Europe. It looked like an island. Where's Russia?
Let me get some light on it so you can get it.
They cut it off. They cut off Russia. Where's Italy?
It says Green Zone or something in that area. It's some pretty interesting stuff.
Part of Germany.
Yes. So all of Germany, France, Europe, and it says U.S. Green Zone on it. So that my grandfather was there in the moments when they took over, stood in the same pictures and locations where in France, where you can see some pretty crazy stuff, man. I just thought you'd get a kick out of that.
My mother's uncle, I feel I'm probably named after my mother's uncle, as much as the movie Carousel, but my mother's uncle. My mother's uncle was in the Battle of the Bulge, died in the Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
He was 101st Airborne.
Oh wow, the first guys hit the ground.
First Airborne in the Battle of the Bulge. And
yeah, that was rough, man. Those guys had to go in.
I have I think I have the telegram that was sent when he was killed.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. I have a bunch of stuff. My sister doesn't know I have it.
Well, it's kind of like my sisters too. That this was something that was passed on to me from my father. My sisters don't even know I have it either. But you know what? In the end, I think that they understood that I had a different relationship than they did. So. No, but I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me show you that because, dude, there's so many
Yeah.
people I've wanted to show it to a lot of people, but because of the
Yeah.
political situation today,
Yeah, I don't believe in being racist and all the political like that. It's
no,
history.
it's
It's
history. You
history.
can't,
Yeah.
you can either deny it, you can neither deny it or prove that it's not, and
It's like
that's where it goes crazy because we
I
have this.
I have a Ganesh tapestry in my window that faces the east. When the sun comes up, it lights up Ganesh in the morning, you
Yeah,
know, and there's swastikas on there. But swastikas, all it was yin yang, yin and yang, yin yang. It was the same as yin yang,
it's
you
good
know.
luck. It's good
Yeah,
luck.
they were good luck
And
symbols.
they went the reverse direction actually than the swastika. So it went from instead of to the right, it went to the left.
Yeah, it's like the people that are now hijacking the rainbows, you know.
Yeah, there's
They're
just
trying
so
to
much.
hijack all the things everybody else. No, that doesn't mean you're. No, I like rainbows, but not because of fruitcakes. You know.
Well, I can honestly say I know that all of the battle and everything that's been happening lately has been directly related to trying to get rid of religion, faith,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
the first thing they did 10 years ago was they started bitching about having the 10 commandments. It was on the middle of right there in the middle of right by the Capitol, and it had the 10 commandments on it. They didn't like it, so they had to put it in the Catholic Church. And then they started getting angry about the cross that's on the hill, and they wanted to take it down, but it's been there since the early 1900s, the
yeah.
early part of the 1900s. And I met the guy who actually stood it up, and he wrote a book about it, and it's actually the cross in Idaho. So I thought it was kind of neat. He gave me a copy of it and signed it, but it shows him actually installing it. And I thought, that tells a lot about people's faith. You'll never fight people's faith because they'll stand and they'll fight for their faith in their life. So at least I believe people will. And they'll fight for right if they believe it's right. If they believe it's just, globalist bullshit, I honestly don't think they will, but I kind of hope they wouldn't. But now you see people wanting to control others enough to lose their jobs and everything else. So you have to kind of wonder, say, what's really going on here?
Yeah,
Yeah. And you've been in the telecom industry, so you know exactly what we're talking about.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done. I designed microwave systems in the early 80s, 82, 83, 84, 85, 80. Yeah, 86. I left there,
Yeah.
or they laid us all off. And,
And I
and,
look,
and
you worked
so
in the old Ma Bell systems.
I had to use topo maps to find the high point on the hill and say, if I put a tower here, what's going to happen? Do I interfere with anybody? How high do I have to put the antennas and all that stuff?
Before all the
Name the
FCC rules
sites.
are set. Yeah.
Yeah,
I still have a copy of the pink book of the FCC rules. A buddy of
yeah.
mine, I gave it to him. He actually got chased down by the FCC. I said, here's an old rule book. Use anything you want out of it. From one of the old telecom guys who had been there for years. It was funny. He kept it, and I thought, man, you kept that like 30 plus or 40 years. It's been in his desk. When he left it to me. And I picked it up. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Started thumbing through all the rules, and kind of neat. The FCC's
Yeah,
been around since the 60s.
yeah. I had to design a microwave network from Des Moines, Iowa to Denver, Colorado.
Oh, wow.
And so that's a tower about every 25 miles that you put 25 miles, you put a tower. And there was 26 towers to get to Denver, 200-foot towers mostly.
Yeah.
And when I did, because you have to, you pick a spot and you run interference analysis against the other systems and shit. And I thought, well, the easiest way to do this, I I asked it, where are all the other towers along this course here? You know,
Right.
and there's, you know, it's all like zigzag, you know, from this tower to that one, down to that, another angle off to the other one, because you don't want them straight ahead, because then that tower will interfere with, skip over and interfere with the other. So they can't be pointing, you know, at each other.
Well, yeah. And you can't get
It
point
can
to
only
point.
point at one of the towers. It can't point at a straight line of them, you know.
Yeah.
So I crisscrossed all the other systems to get to Denver,
I just
and
imagine.
everything worked out great,
Oh,
except they bought they had 26 towers in the warehouse, and had bought half the real estate to put them up. And then they decided, we're going to go fiber optic and cancel all microwave projects.
yeah, sure they are.
And
They've been
they
saying
laid
that
us
all along.
off. 225 people in the office, 200 of us got laid off.
Wow.
And of course, they kept the worst people.
Yeah, I've seen so many layoffs like that where when during this whole thing, I remember I was working for a marketing firm, and they went out to one of these places like DBSI and ITT when they went under because of misuse of funds, you know, from people's funds, and they ran the thing into the ground. Well, they were all betting against the market, and when the market didn't fail and came back, they lost. So, like, you know, basically ITT was a prime example. I went into that building that was here in Boise and was just amazed at how the stuff that was in there. I mean, there was jackets, pictures, everything. They didn't care. They closed them up. They took their money and they ran.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the stuff I worked on is up there in geosynchronous orbit.
Yeah. It's still there. Yeah.
I worked on about 13 satellites.
Yeah. And
that
you
are
know,
up there in orbit.
Do you ever use SDR? You know, SDR radios that you can
What?
plug into your computer?
No.
So you should try that. There's a great little plug-in that you can use to go all the way across spectrums. Usually 11 meter, 12 meter, and then all the 900, all the low end 400 and plus. You can actually go see those megahertz and listen to. They have geosynchronous, they have single, they have radio traffic, flight traffic. You get so much information from those little SDRs, and they're not that expensive. They're just a little plug-in that you go onto your computer and basically gives you a GUI to work off of. But you can listen for free. You don't have to have a ham license to do it, but it's damn cool. There's just flight traffic. You can get so much information off an SDR. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on with a buddy of mine who has another channel like this, and he fixes them. It's called BBI, and he actually fixes antique radios. And I've been talking to him, hey man, we need to get together and actually build a good SDR. And so he wants to build one. I thought, man, that'd be the thing. Just go pick up one of these, multiple antennas and set up a really good SDR unit. And actually have them put a full good antenna on it, not just a little wire antenna, but an actual antenna that would be for a base station. But
yeah.
And if I do, like I said, I'll pass it on to you, because most of this stuff is all plug and play now. I mean, you could just go buy an SDR and it has an antenna connection, and you know how to strip, MCM wire and RG and all that. But pretty easy, real cheap too. Usually a lot of info, especially where you're at. You're in the middle of nowhere. All those signals are still flying around out there. You can get all kinds of info, and all the ham frequencies as well too. Kind of cool. And you can do it all from your computer. It's like, would you rather get rid of your phone or anything else? No, I'd rather keep my computer, because everything on my computer is real. I can find info that I need. Phones are app driven. They're not computers. They are, but they're not. What the hell is that? Oh, hey, we were talking about lapidary. Let me bring that.
Memory.
What the hell is that? What is that?
They're USB drives.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. He's got a line.
Put them on a string.
It's kind of like.
I gotta find a good way to label them so I know which one's which. Because if you which one, plug in that one. Nope, that one. Nope, not that one.
Dude, I thought it was a rosary there for a second. I was wondering what it was.
No, they're memory cards. They're memory.
Yeah, so you
USB
memorize.
memory.
They're on
Good,
the Hold on, be right back.
because I run out of room on the computer. Then when he comes back, remind me to let Jack in. I let Jack in. Yeah, I had dinner. I'm full. Had Chinese food. Got it.
This stone is crazy cool. It's two nodules back to back, and then
Wow.
he cut it and polished
nice.
one side, and it's got this great clear sections in it. You know, it looks like. And so yeah, he cut these two. It's actually two fused together down the middle. Looks like they're a big sack or something. You know? But I mean, that's just crazy. I was like, look at all the color in that thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
And he just handed it over. I was like, dude, that is the coolest thing. That's an expensive piece of rock right there. And he said, we find all kinds of crazy stuff like that. I was pretty impressed by it. I had to learn a lot. I have to learn a lot to go out with some of these people that do. They're gemstoneologists.
Yeah. I don't know what I have them are. Some of them I put them on. I tried there was an app where you supposedly take a picture of your rock with your phone and it'd tell you what it is. And man, it was telling me I found uranium.
Is it green? Great. Is it glowing? It's kryptonite.
Kryptonite. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Hope there ain't too much uranium here.
So when I was going to ask you this question, I haven't asked you before, but when you go out and you search, what's your intent to find the same things that you look for? Because of course we're going to be searching for this for the rest of our days. But the other spots that are out there, the best part about it is
I think it's in the hands of the lawyers.
You still think it's in the hands of the lawyers?
The deal when he said it was found, it was found, and now's the worth the cold part. Worth the cold is the cold shoulder that you get, the cold treatment you get while you're waiting for your prize, and the lawyers are playing games.
I don't think he was ever intended to get it. I think it was just a feign by the own family. Somebody might have known where it was, or he let loose, or something. Maybe.
No. You have to. I take Forrest for his word. Somebody's actually going to get that treasure chest, and it should be the person that figured it out, not somebody that found out about it when it was announced it was found and wants it and has money to buy it. And I was like, come on, you never even searched. You weren't in it for the years it took. I did my first boots on the ground in 2014.
Yeah. Well, and
it took 2 years to find the Buffalo Cowboy car from there. 2.25.
Well, if I look, I can see like this. There, I can read comments. I had my head down for so long walking back and forth, I didn't even look up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not ignoring you guys. I just realized I was actually live streaming. I thought we were having a bullshit session.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So Luli's at where street? It's Layton, Ohio, and I think where street is he's afraid to come on because he knows I won.
Well, you know what?
I think there's some people that know I won and won't admit it.
There you go. Well, there are some people that actually have went to the sites where you believe it was. That's why I said there's very few people that would have actually done that. And you went to one of my sites, and I appreciate that. Like I said, I did that, and I didn't even have to put boots on and walk over there. All I had to do was dial you up. I'll continue looking for it. I'll continue looking for treasure the rest of my life. So
yeah,
it's kind of like a life learner. Sooner or later, you realize that that's all you're doing. You're learning every single day.
Yeah, and it's it's like being punched in the face. You kind of get okay. I'm ready for it now. I'm ready for him to come up with another scandal as somebody's buying it.
I don't
Another,
think
another museum's going to have it. Another auctioneer's going to have it. And we got 5 different organizations that have a hold of it right now.
Well, I mean, we talked about the box, and he always said, "Get back in the box." And every time I'd look at that box, the only thing I could see was the missing ladder, and the ladder that was on the right hand side, on the left hand side, was the one that was the level to the next step, and every other part of that on the top and the sides were the 2 pillars. And that's I honestly believe that
2
was
pillars, right? The 2 pillars.
Right. 2 pillars.
What and those 2 steeples at the
United.
church? What do the 2 steeples represent?
Oh, and steeples in the top of the steeples.
The church towers. You see the Catholic Church, the 2
Right.
towers, right?
Right.
What do they represent?
That's a good question. You tell me.
The towers replace the obelisk.
Oh,
it's still, they represent the penis or the double blazes.
there you go.
It's all deeply woven into the fabric.
And I still believe, like I said, I think that there was some very interesting information in the roof and the top of that box. They were, if they weren't anything more than maps drawn by Spaniards, I'll be surprised.
Yeah,
because I think there was more in that box. I wish I would have been able to see what was on that. I mean, if there was any chance to know what the 2 hairs and the information that was on that page to what he really wanted people to know about him, I think that would be the part I'd like to know.
Yeah.
They haven't shown or released any of that kind of information. So I still believe if there was an information that was there, yeah, you could have a road, you could have a road bracelet, you could have all the things that are there. But the interesting part to most of us was, what did Forrest try to tell us? What was about his information that was rolled up and very tight and written in very small information? That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't get the part, things he says twice. I'm almost 80. And it's not because I'm almost 80, it's like, why did you have to say I'm almost 80 twice in one sentence?
Jimmy 2 times. Get the papers.
Okay. Because what he says twice is important. Yeah. And when Moses was 80, God told him to go write a book of your memories.
Oh, I never heard of that. I'm not really a big Bible aficionado either.
Well, a lot of people that go with, think the Bible, they think Christianity, and they don't think about Moses. They think about, they were out there looking for Jesus. when Forrest Fenn has a wooden Moses, he doesn't have a wooden Jesus.
Well, I think it was interesting because they say that Jesus was a scribe and that he was at Masada. He was at Masada possibly, and then that's a karst. That's the top of a building. I kept thinking all these associations were very close to each other. Now Masada, I think, and if I'm right about this, if they say that he was actually a writer from the Dead Sea Scrolls, with the information they found when they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 70s, I think it was mid 78 or 77, and that information was in there.
Yeah, they're talking about Dale and revealing that Forrest was going to pull the chest and all that. You don't know, Forrest was fucking with Dale's head. I'm telling Dale, I want Dale to think this because something completely different is happening. Completely different. He doesn't have a clue what's going on, and he's going to talk about this.
I thought it was fun, although no matter what, even those crazy stupid channels, some of the people were just being mean. Like I said, I shared pretty much all my information. I said if anybody finds it, good luck to you. I'm hoping that people do.
I gotta let Jack in here in a second here. He's scratching at the door.
I absolutely, that is the greatest dog. Just let him out, let him do his thing, comes back, no problems. So I'm gonna go take off and
he's the I gotta give him his treat when he wants in. Pour a cup of tea.
So I see Jesus built my hot rod at the flashing lights in every video. Adam, what if Forrest didn't have anything to do with it? Brent John, I want Cheerios. Just cheer up a bit. Let's see, Luke, Big, Richard Rutherford. I've been in Palm for weeks, but it's been better also. No more drinky poos. That's not good. Think big. Yep. Like I said, you want to know who solved the poem? Everybody always thinks we solved the poem. And Richard, I missed that, Adam. Big whoop. Fruity Cheerios are awesome, Brett. It's amazing what we talk about in text. The chat's interesting on that.
I'm wondering if Forrest visited the peyote church.
The peyote church.
He talks about Quanah Parker and the peyote church.
See, I'm not able
and a lot of them Indian chiefs were known, they were like Moses figures.
Yeah.
Leading their people away from the, colonization.
Let my people go.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I planted a burning bush in my front yard. Yeah.
And there's a William Shakespeare, quote William Shakespeare, yeah. Let your indulgence set me free.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Your indulgence. How come I can't get that to come back up? We're still on live, but I can't seem to get the chat back. Okay, here we go. Let's get the chat back. Come on now.
Team here.
I'm doing an app on TV. It's horrible. It never works. I caught up to it. I caught up to the chat. Okay.
Check
but it won't click in.
Number of viewers again. 12. Not many.
That's all right.
They all, and I can't stand K-Pro, 7%ers. And she's, she's referring to like me. And I never did the nasty things a lot of the people she really doesn't like did. Yeah. All I made was some flavorful comments.
If you can't take a joke,
and truthful too. Truthful at that.
I think we had more fun with the fact that there was still a lot of people who really wanted to get their say in. This for so long. I mean, I was watching for at least a year, and I remember people bouncing back and forth between their channels, and I have this information, and this is breaking information. Cynthia Meacham and all those. I did spend a lot of time watching that, but then I had to ask myself, why did Forrest give her so much information, or was she the purveyor of the information originally? And then he ended up working with what's his name, the guy that's works out of Seattle or has his shop on Bainbridge Island or something, right?
Yeah.
Who's actually out of the country. And why did he choose him? He's kind of an ass.
I think Dale is he fits the profile of a CIA agent. He's a clown.
Yeah, I'm sure. Military intelligence, I don't know. There's some people I'm just not sure.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It might not be CIA. It's probably military intelligence. because that's when Forrest was in the military intelligence part there, you know.
Hey, I also had another one of those Rogers Rangers cards I was gonna send to you. Or I had one of those. I don't know where I lost it to, but I know I have it around here. I was gonna show you, but like I said, I think I've got it on photo, or I've actually taken a picture of it. I might send it to you, but it has all the Rogers Rangers information and the whole, as you walk through, never take the same path twice, don't go
Yeah.
back, and it gives, these were
Yeah.
cards handed out to the Vietnam guys when they were first
Yeah,
getting
those
sent.
are his rules for ranging. They're the last page of the Ranger Handbook.
Yep. Yeah. It gives
And
the
as my
history.
family wrote that stuff. And he also wrote the instructions that Lewis and Clark brought with them to find the
Yeah.
Northwest Passage.
Man, I did so much on the core of discovery. I mean, I hit the library and just started reading like crazy on everything from the core of discovery when we were on that portion of the chase. I mean, at least that was my, during my chase, what I was looking for. I was looking through the core of discovery. I was looking at locations and sites and places they'd been to. And I mean, I'm still, looking on Google Maps at locations that I looked at back then and where they traveled across
Yeah.
and how they got there. I mean, they were
They
going
took
on
2 separate
skins.
routes.
Yeah, they
I
were
think one took
taking.
the Yellowstone River and the other took the Missouri River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a split across the center of the United States that came back together and ended up coming through what was the Lolo Pass, which goes right over Idaho. And that Lolo Pass was the connection between East and West Coast. And I've been to the site where they actually came onto the beach in Oregon, and they have a post that's on the Oregon beach, and I got video and pictures of it, but it has in sunk in the side of it, it has a hand-drawn picture that Clark had written of the of drawing the base before they'd actually built it. And so he put it on paper, and then they cast it in bronze and put it into the side of this post that's right on the beachway. And it says, this is the site where the core of discovery came ashore in Oregon. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's very close to where we're just down the beach from what is that, Haystack Rock? What's the next town in that? I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But it's down that direction. Pretty crazy stuff. But I went there. I have those pictures, and I even today I still look back, and as they were using math for to build the width and length almost like in cubits or something. And I had to ask myself, who's the last person that did that in cubits? Oh, Noah.
Yeah. Yeah, Noah's just a hint to Moses. Moses wrote the book of Noah, or the book of Genesis and the book of Exodus, and he wrote 5 of the books.
How much is associated with the Bible in this whole chase has been through the whole thing, Strange how that happens.
Yeah, and God told him, tell them, don't come nigh. Don't come near. Yeah, don't touch the flame. Don't touch the blaze.
I would have been a little nervous if I saw a burning bush.
And why was Forrest barefoot? Take your shoes off. You're walking on holy ground.
Yeah. Didn't Jesus watch the guy's feet?
He had to be grounded.
Nah. I mean, I think I even looked. I don't know if everybody else did, but I looked at the site in the middle of, where the nuclear tests were done, and the what did they call that site? It was the
White Sands.
Yeah, White Sands, but the name of it was where the detonation was, is out in the middle, and there's only like a month you can go there, and there's only like 2 weeks that it actually is where they drive out to the site, and they bring like these little trailers that you can ride when you go to the amusement parks. They drive out to the middle of the White Plains site where the Trinity site. And so I actually went on a couple of virtual tours looking in that location, and then using Google Maps and looking around that area. And you had to ask, well, if he said he carried a nuclear bomb, you had to ask, well, there's only a few places I know where they carried nuclear bombs, either in Vietnam or over in Europe or
he was in Germany. He said that the Russians or the East Germans or whatever we're watching with binoculars, watching him put the nuclear bomb on his plane. And that's when Khrushchev pulled out of Cuba.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. See, and you're one of the few people that actually got
they
to
seen the nuclear bomb on Fenn's plane.
Yeah. 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 Had a good friend of ours that passed away from Afghanistan, where he was a bomber in that class, and I still think about that. I sent him with some chaff, to write on the bombs. So we're sending them back in.
Oh yeah, the bomb and the picture was in one of the books. It's to Charlie from Bill.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they do. They write on the faces.
Neighbor Charlie. I sent that to him.
He probably laughed. He didn't respond to too many people off that link, but there's few people who did.
Yeah, Charlie didn't get it.
Hey, didn't Forrest have a library? And he actually had a librarian, a place where he could do. So it was
he
like
hired a librarian to do some stuff.
He did.
It was
and it was on his website. You could go on there and check out books that he had on his shelf, which I always thought was weird, because everybody was talking about how they'd see his house and they'd see the books on the shelf and they'd make speculations. But if you asked, you could go to the librarian and ask, and they would pull that book off the shelf and you could actually read the book that was there, because they would send it to you. They've already been scanned in. I think he chose to scan all of his books in because that was his collection in his library. I truly believe that was what he was doing. He was trying finding to, categorize and figure out where everything was supposed to go from his life.
It's a pain in the ass scanning them in. Well, that ain't as much a pain in the ass as doing the OCR, and the OCR doesn't read everything, and you got to go through and make all the corrections.
Well, that's the same reason they had the CAPTCHA. CAPTCHA was a replacement for them having to go back and search for all those words that didn't show up when they ran it through the NCR. So they had to go back and try to figure out what it was. So CAPTCHA was a prime example of that. He decoded like half of the books in the world in like less than a year. And all of the people had just made by decisions of what every time you filled out a CAPTCHA, you were actually solving a solvent for the book that they were looking for. And they'd send it to millions of people.
Where he went to school in Memphis, that was what was radar and radio school that was there. My dad went to the same school, the same time, probably the same year. My dad probably run into Forrest when he was going to aviation radioman school. My dad flew in a Navy P2.
In a P2?
It was before the P3.
Wasn't it the P3 Orions that flew in out of Sunnyvale for years? Yeah. Those are the Sonobui droppers.
Yeah, I lived right on the other side of 101 from there on Spring Street in Mountain View.
Yeah, they did touchdowns my whole life. I think I was there in Sunnyvale and we watched them at least from
the Blue Angels from the
through 90s. That's weird how that area is just like.
I went to elementary school in that area.
Which one?
Kindergarten, first grade, second grade there.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I pretty much grew up in that valley. That whole area is stomping ground.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't stay, although I love this state.
Yeah, I got the fuck out of California.
I don't see how people could live there. And we have so many people who moved out, which was interesting because a couple of years back it just started flowing, and I was living in what was Meridian, and it was the fastest growing state in the nation, and that town was the fastest growing one during 2008. And we moved out of that town pretty quick too. Came into Boise, but now it's like everywhere else. Sooner or later, it all comes to you.
Yeah.
Urban sprawl.
1976, I had a 65 Impala wagon, and I raced a Porsche 911 over to Santa Cruz Mountains.
Ah,
with my
I
65.
can
And,
remember taking 17 many a time up that. That is a rough road at speed.
and that guy, the guy in the Porsche pulled off in Scotts Bluff, you know.
Okay.
So I was keeping up with him. He was having trouble keeping up with me. You know? You have trouble keeping up with that V8 with
The frog
we
bodies.
put a cam in the 327. It was a rebuilt 327 with a cam and a 4-barrel.
Yeah. Nice, man.
And yeah, it was hauling ass over that mountain. Then we had 2 cases of beer in the back. It was our last. It was like senior week, you know, and we went to Santa Cruz, party all last week of high school at the beach. And we
It's
got
pretty
stopped
crazy.
by Army patrol after the Porsche pulled off. Where'd your friend in the Porsche go? Oh, he pulled off in Scotts Bluff.
Exactly. And most of the people who live there, you know, they know the roads like the back of their hands. My
Yeah.
wife's stepfather, we went up to what was a burnout area now in Dobbins area. It's now all burned out up in California. And it was one of those fires that happened just towards the end of the summer here. And their whole town got burned out. And so I was like, wow, I couldn't believe how it just, and there's so many people who were there that lost their homes. It was crazy.
Yeah. He gave me a ticket for 60 and a 55. And I know I was doing 80 and 90 in places.
I can't vouch for myself then, but okay, I'll take the ticket for the rest of
But
it.
yeah, it's too late for them to do anything about that. 45 years ago.
Oh shit. Yeah. I can still remember when they used to ride those the Harley Davidsons in San Francisco, although that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The cops always drove around in these souped up. I ended up getting once they flopped off their Kawasaki's, the Kawasaki 1000s, the old chip bikes. I bought one off of a auction sale, and I drove that thing this all the time. I love that. It had the
I got a
stock
buddy.
back, lights and everything on it.
I had a buddy who has an old San Francisco meter made Harley Davidson trike.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, hey man, I'm gonna have to dog out here, but I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure. And Mr. Bill, I absolutely had a good time, man. I hope this, like I said, anytime you want to talk about it, let's chat more about Forrest Fenn, because like I said, I spent a lot of time about it, and there's a lot on my head even about talking about it. I'm sure many people who are out there who were on the chase wanted to have that opportunity to be able to talk about it, especially with somebody like you.
Yeah, Richard Rutherford wants to know, where's Greg moving to? I think he's moving to Puerto Rico. I think I might move to Puerto Rico.
I like their Wi-Fi balloons. That was a great idea. Google thought,
I guess if I had a shipping container, I could load it up with all my, and then I'd have everything out of the RV, and I could sell the RV.
I expected fully that somebody like you would go out there and actually and help to build their infrastructure, because I don't think their government, you know, our own government isn't even going to fix it. Those people still live in squalor and Wi-Fi. They don't even have, most of them don't have any computers, no phones, no cells. You know,
because the government's all corrupt. It's run by the CIA, right? Yeah. Well, Puerto Rico, I bet their government's all right. It's chaos from the you know what party. And
could be.
Yeah. But
sir, you have a good night.
I want to move to Chile.
Chile?
Yeah.
Where do you want to live in Chile so you can go to Chichen Itza, and what is it? What's the one that's up there?
Go for a drive up to Bolivia and see Tiwanaku and what's the other one there? The one with the really old stuff with the H blocks and stuff.
Oh, the ones with the diorite on them, the big pieces of rock.
They don't know how the hell they did that.
Yeah,
I want to go there.
How do you cut something that's the only thing that's as hard as it is the same rock that it's on? So either you had to use the diorite that you had, but how did you get the chips of the diorite that you needed to cut to get the diorite?
I would have to have a good portable oxygen generator to go to Machu Picchu.
Oh, dude. It's a what, 14, 15,000 feet?
Yeah, way the fuck up there.
Yeah. Well, they ran all those. You had to imagine all those Incas and Mayans and all those. That's why he always talked about that. It was about running the hillsides. And if you really think about it, dude, all the stuff that you do when you go climbing around in those hills, that's what he was talking about. That's why he put all those Incan and Mayan runes in there so people would know. It ain't somewhere where you can just trip over it, but it's somewhere where it's safe. You know, I
Yeah.
don't think that guy found it. I think it was pulled out purposely, and then they
No,
placed this in his hands.
no, it was never really out there. It was, you had to find his trove, my
There you
trove
go.
for all to see.
Yep.
And his trove was his art on the canyon walls, the Buffalo Cowboy car, Moses, and success is an omnipotent guru. And the only guy he called that was the guy that carved wooden Moses to look just like the one up on the cliff. And the cliff resembles where his plane blew up into a fireball that he knew would attract unwanted attention. There's, and it only comes out at winter solstice. Is the only time that Moses, the sun hits him to see the shadows correctly, to see Moses standing up there parting in the nook of the cliff, parting the Rocky Mountains there.
Hey, I've seen stranger stuff. You know what I find is interesting? Look on the side of Mount Blanca. There's a big cross right in the middle of Mount Blanca.
Yeah, I've
Right
seen that. Yeah, I've taken pictures of it. And it shows up when there's snow, and it's still showing up there. Yeah.
How did that get there? And then this is
up there too.
what he said, the cross on the hill, man. We got them here. We have a lit cross.
Yeah, my camera is 4,000 millimeter.
Nikon.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna bail out here,
okay.
Bill. I'm gonna say
goodbye. Anybody else coming in?
You have a good evening, my friend.
You too, Rick.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for coming in. See who anybody else coming in? Let me see. I'm refreshing that. 10 and minimize, and they got to transfer power. I'm gonna lose power on my computer if I don't move. There it is. Because my computer says 8 minutes, and it hasn't gone bump at me yet. So I can plug into my lithium battery. Turn that inverter on. Beep. There. Now I got electricity again. This way I don't have to run the generator or make noise. That's why it's so crowded. I don't have neighbors, noise, nothing. No traffic noise. You never hear a siren going by when I'm here. Only one time there was a police going down a couple blocks away, about a half mile away. And the treasure. Forrest still wants you to find the treasure. Find it. And rehid. Yeah. Find the treasure and rehide it for so the latecomers can go find it. Yeah, my ass. It was it's over. There was no plan for rehiding it and all this horse pucky. Yeah. I will find it. It will find me. Yeah, it's already looking for me though, Luli. I'm going to have to sign off. Okay, see you, Whoopi. Fire, I guess the wiring down. Yeah. I'm an electrician, Whoopi. I was an electrician, engineer, quality control inspector, electronics technician, microwave engineer, fiber optic engineer, outside plant manager. Yeah. Team up and find us this time. Yeah, I bet the last job I had, I bet it pays a lot better nowadays. If they're paying people as much as they do at McDonald's, then that job I had is probably double two now. But it's a pain in the butt. So yeah, nobody else coming in. Down, it's just 10 watching. Is there another show going on? Somebody else is streaming. I looked and Ben was done. I thought the other stuff was done. People are at, they're all out drinking. I get it. Because I can't get any more of them disc cleaners. I only got one disc cleaner left. And it's a souvenir. I don't peel the plastic off it. Yeah, good night, Adam. Unless you're saying good night to someone else, but I'm about, you know, Barbara in her threat, she put five privacy violation claims against me, and so far I've gotten back from, I appealed all of them, YouTube, and told them what her MO is. Go look at her videos, look at this video, you know, the one she's deleted, and how she's the bully and the troll and the one violating everybody's privacy, mentioning my name and stuff. I took her name out of the title of one of the videos that was audio from Greg's show, and Greg has to make the copyright complaint on that because it was his show that it was from. Night to Whoopi. You and everyone else too. Yeah, but I have the evidence. I have Moses. I have the physical rusty red Ford Buffalo cowboy car with the bullet hole, the bullet that matches, and the ceremony with Forrest when I brought it to Timbery, and he puts on the hat with the bullet hole and congratulates me and all that stuff. And you people just shove it aside, keep shoving it aside, shove Bill Gorman aside, just fuck Bill Gorman is the attitude of the what I see. You know, it's like, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, fuck Bill Gorman. Bill Gorman says, double places. Good, Adam. Where's Eve? And where's the Swiss family? When I was a kid, we went and seen Swiss Family Robinson. We went down to the local theater. We probably 10, 11. I'd have to look up when it came out. But we went down to the theater, and we just stayed in the theater. We didn't leave. We stayed and we watched that movie like 6, 7 times. And it was all the engineering with the trees and the tree houses. It was cool to us. Comtech, late 90s, wiring telecom was gone soon after. Yeah. I was designing microwave systems for Sprint in '84, and I was building satellites, telecommunications satellite, Intelsats and Insats, and parts for Japanese satellites and stuff like that back in '81. Yeah, she did, and I appealed it, and YouTube told me I was exempt. That said there's no privacy. I'm exempt from privacy violations from her. Ah, I'm protected. you don't you don't fuck with the actors, right? Calling me an actor. Come on. What movie was I in? Maybe people think, oh, he's Jeff Bridges. Jeff's got a few years on me. How old is he? He's, I think, 10 years older than me. But me and him look pretty much alike. I want to keep that page up because I'm going to call them tomorrow. World Treasures, Treasure World. The dude. 19. Yeah, he's 9 years older than, or yeah, he's a little more than 8 years older than me. 8.25 years older than me. So yeah, I could play his double. Look like my University of Oregon student ID. I had beard, looked like Moses on that thing. Looked like Jeff did in True Grit. Even had the gray stripe in the beard. Let me go get back to chat. The kids can't see it with the page there. It's not bad. The oldest of all of you peeps, I think that I know. Oh, how many years you got on me, Luli? I'm 63 and a half. It's not. Yeah, I'm going to call the Treasure Museum and see what their story was on that the other person was talking about. Because that's another party that supposedly has the treasure. And it's like, no. Yeah, I'm getting younger. You know, I have to go to the doctor so they can test my and then from my blood tests, I know what I need this vitamin, that vitamin, and I don't need that iron. I had too much iron was the problem. My sister too much, same thing. Yeah, okay. Almost 2 years. Oh, you're you're Doug Preston's age. He's 65. Doug Preston's 2 years older than me. 0 of 200. What's that? I only get 200 messages? Why does it say 0 of 200 in the underneath the message thing? Yeah, I think this whole thing is a bunch of horse shit. They're all fiction. It's all fiction. Yeah. Well, if Jack can lie, I can lie too. You know, and these are just copycats. People trying to, like put the spotlight on them. Mama named me Sheriff. Okay. Yeah, same as Preston. You Preston's twin then, huh? I drove through a part from Mountain Home, Idaho. I took the road from Mountain Home, Idaho to Jordan, Oregon. I took the dirt road over the mountain, the wild backcountry shortcut with a 66 passenger school bus pulling a car over that mountain. It was windy, yeah. Heard they had the Blue Angels crash there. They were practicing and they forgot to set the ground elevation for their and they crashed because they didn't have the wrong elevation set in their plane for the ground or something. They didn't know the ground was as close as it was, and boom. Maybe that was that the Thunderbirds or the Angels. I don't know. Yeah, went through some ranches, and I was surprised. I had a GPS on my computer. I had the DeLorme with the GPS that plugs in, so I didn't have to rely on cell phone towers. Free dumb plane. Be real different come 2023 for us. Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be sooner than that. I think things are it's happening now. I think we get our country back for Christmas. and like I said, this whole thing could be that it's tied with what's going on with the government and the revolution and so on, and even like Dizzy Dean was number 17. He died on the 17th. Forrest was pointing to the number 17. And is that the one with the chapter about with his father? It was page 17. Jumpstarting the learning curve, I think it was. And that was page 17. And so Dizzy Dean may have been a clue to page 17 or 17Q, and Forrest Fenn was the person that they called QAnon, because we haven't really heard anything from Q since Forrest left. That's kind of, it's kind of odd. And the whole thing there was messages are hidden in the words and what they say and all that shit. Everything's cryptic and in code. And when he says he had a scar, an S-car, car. The word scar has the word car in it. The Buffalo Cowboys car, the DJ, the whole set. Play Ice Cube and new music. I don't play Ice Cube. I don't play Vanilla Ice. No Ice Cube. No. I was a kid doing it. Yeah. Duh, Kitty. Yeah, Kitty Creek runs into Hope Creek, and Hope Creek runs into the South Fork of the Rio Grande. And when he says it wasn't near the Rio Grande River, that did not include the South Fork, the North Fork, the West Fork, the Northwest Fork, There were none of them. It didn't include the forks, the tributaries. He was only talking about the major Rio Grande River, major. Yeah, he wasn't talking about the minor creeks. Remember by the time about 90s, 94, 95 came down this area, and there was a road that went down, and the road went down this dip and then back, and where the dip was apparently where they would have rock floods, you know, and so it's kind of a ford. You go across where this sometimes it's a creek, and if there's a creek there, you're not going to get through there because it's not just a creek; it's a slough for rocks and things coming down the mountain. To the California dirt. Yeah, and then you gotta look up the Diogenes. The story about Diogenes, and that he thought people should be more like dogs. And there you go. Forrest Fenn, his dog Willie. People should be more like Willie the dog. Willie the dog was a meek dog. I don't know why you got the hiccups. Twin Creeks are long. That's so star. And then Jack is named after my dog. That's why Forrest wanted to know what is. I need to know, what is your dog's name? Because I'm gonna name because I had the video. No, that was after that I made that video, but I did have a video, but it was before the announcement in 2019, December 2019. I had the video, and my dog Jack found the treasure. Jack found the treasure, and he peed on it. And nobody gets it when Forrest. What's this thing about Jack? Oh, well, look at back. Bill Gorman's Jack found the treasure. We have a fake Jack and a real Jack. The real Jack is the dog, and or Jack is God. Dog backwards is God. Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, I just saw a thing that, yeah, that's what Fergie's in Black Eyed Peas, right? It's like, I don't know who that is. Oh, that's Fergie. Oh, Black. Okay, the woman in Black Eyed Peas. I didn't know what her name was. Yeah. Ah, correct. Yes. Lily. Yeah, Forrest Fenn's dog is named after me, and this supposed finder is named after my dog. He's dogging me. You don't get it. It literally dogging. Yeah, those are the peace sign. If you go to Ramon's Mexican restaurant in South Fork, and you're standing on the highway, you're facing the restaurant. To the right of the restaurant is the peace sign, the rocks with the peace sign in it, and it looks just like that. 2 fingers up and 2 folded, and the thumb coming in. You know, dog-legged you. And Diogenes was one. People are nearly mad already. All you got to do is show them your middle finger, and they think you're mad. If you show them your pinky, they don't think you're mad. Yeah. What is my I test my, we got the Shit blowing in my face, right? It should be at a decent level. Yep, 93. Oh, art slowed down to 88. Back to 87. Slowing down. Okay. Reporters and doggy doos. Go in peace, dudes. Yeah. There's a lot of dog do in the chase. It's not hard to step in it. Yeah, you know, they won't talk. I don't know why they won't talk to me. You know, what they probably maybe someone trying to push that it was offensive that I stated that doing this to the real winner was not Christian. To make somebody suffer is not Christian. And how can these people go to church on Sunday and claim to be a Christian when they're doing this to the real finder? You know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's just like, you know, you're kind of a hypocrite. You're not really a Christian if you do that to the real finder. So Christian up and do the right thing and fulfill your Father's wishes. Make his will be done on earth like his treasures in heaven. It's time to bring it back down here. Give it to the real finder. Quit playing the games. Yeah. Well, people have no idea what I've been through either, Adam. You had your back burned off? That's really fun. That's really fun having your back burned off. Being teased all through school for being pigeon-toed. That's really fun. Yeah, and a lot of Christians aren't good people. A lot of them are not good people. A whole lot of them. You say hi to them at the Walmart, they'll ignore you. You know, I say hi to the Amish people. I stop and talk to them all the time. Yeah, like to wear my if I wear this hat to the store, the Amish guys are a little friendlier to me. The Amish people, the Amish women. I talked to them about where'd all the food go? They're not on the shelf. I don't know. They eat pork. I think they do. Amish people, yeah, they raise pigs. They're not Jewish. And I think here it's not really Amish. It's a sect of the Mormon thing that they dress like that. There's a lot of Mormons. You know, like Jack Dempsey was. Manasseh was a Mormon settlement. Whoever it is has unlimited resources. Like Chad, yeah, they got unlimited resources. They, and they're playing games and they don't care. That's you know, most people care. Mobile cat phones. I had big ears growing up. I grew into them. I had big ears too. Star Valley, Wyoming. Okay, yeah. Right down like I said, right down the Rio Grande River here. But the last the last bridge of the Rio Grande where it comes out of Colorado, that last bridge down there is a BLM thing with the interpretive signs that tell you about the area and stuff, and about the Indian stuff, on the Native American stuff carved on the rocks and shit, just like I've been finding. And it tells about how dark the sky is here, that this is one of the darkest skies in the country, and you can see all the stars of the Milky Way when there's no moonlight. There's moonlight now. Forrest Fenn didn't pull it. I pulled it. It was the Buffalo Cowboy car. Take it in the can. Take the car in the can. Take the car down the road. Down the road is all he's talking about. Reapers. Creek disappears every 30 minutes and reappears. Have the dogs start the laundry and separate the whites. Okay. Well, there is something on the back of this shirt. Need my back scratcher. I need my back scratcher. You know what would be better than a back scratcher? A good lover. Stir fry. I don't have to have cats make me stir fry. I've got leftover Chinese food in the refrigerator from dinner. It's dinner for the next 2 days. Yeah, I went out to the rocks and took some pictures out at the Elephant Rocks yesterday, and I just oh no, those aren't elephants. You're just imagining. Why BLM call it Elephant Rocks? Come on. I wonder if the BLM site says why they called it that. I should look that up. Hands on the land. Penitente Canyon and Elephant Rocks. Hands on the land. Art Pal. Elephant Rocks BLM. Oh, I might have some people here to. And you go to the page, you search Elephant Rocks BLM, and you go to the page, and there's a mammoth skeleton there. That's more than twice. There's guys standing in front of that mammoth is more than twice as high as those people standing there. It's like 2.5 people high, or 3. That means that thing's like, about 18 feet tall. That's huge. The Elephant Rocks, managed by the San Luis Valley Field Office Bureau of Land Management, is located in San Luis Valley of South Central Colorado, near Penitente Canyon Recreation Area. The Elephant Rock area is a unique area that was once habitat for the Columbian mammoths that lived in the San Luis Valley during the Pleistocene epoch. The giants once walked here. Local legends has it that these giant creatures left their marks on the rocks, leaving rubs, smooth surfaces 8 to 10 feet above the average man. And man was rubbing on the rocks too. That's funny. Okay. So I gotta look up this another artist was something about the he didn't he's got a picture of the area, but not pictures like mine. Elephant Rocks he's just got a wide angle of a bunch of them, but he doesn't see what I see in it. I think I had pictures of some of those same rocks the other day. Ooh, there's a tunnel right there. Zoom. Nope, that's not an opening. They don't see the. Oh, okay. I'm just you know here I'm looking at some photographer and he's got a picture of he's got a few pictures of the area, but nothing that's pointing out what shapes are there. That there are, you know, it's like you don't see them. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that. I had to go get some other, but when I went out there, I met a woman out there. I mean, I'm out there taking pictures, and somebody comes up in this truck that's like, you're barely running her stuff, and like, well, it looks like somebody that yeah, better be careful. And it was a woman driving the truck, and she looked like she was maybe 10 years older than me, and you know, red haired, you know, bunch of piercings in the ear, and kind of like and I showed her my book with my art in it, and she could see what I was seeing in the rocks. And yeah, but she was a nice lady. Might talk to her some other time, but there's a lot out there that people haven't seen. Looking at this guy's pictures, and I see stuff in it, and it's like there's no mention. These are just elephant rocks, and they think that the mammoths marked up these rocks with their tusks. And is that someone sending me a message, or somebody posted something on YouTube? No message. My air. Oh, that's my I got a message from my CPAP machine. How much did I sleep last night? No data for Saturday. Oh, yeah, because I didn't sleep Saturday. I haven't slept yet. Oh, that's funny. History. They'll tell me there. Well, I slept for almost 6 hours yesterday. See, it's when my CPAP tells me how I've slept. Look, that one day I didn't sleep. I didn't use it one night. I just put the oxygen on and went with that because I had a headache, and the CPAP was not making my headache better. Yeah, Wednesday, just like a half hour. And then I said, screw this thing. Or it lost power or something. I don't know. right now, let's see. I'll go back, close that, and go back to chat. Oh, Google Earth off of there. Or flying giraffe, a UFO, or Snuggles. Yeah, I gotta get my artwork, you know, and trying to get the crypto, get to put $200 in my Ethereum thing, and then I'm getting messages from different people that yeah, I'll help you out with that, and it's like, I don't know who the fuck you are. You know, I'm not gonna give you financial information that way. Maybe what I got to do is I might try that. I wonder if I could do it with like a gift card, and then my bank won't stop it. Maybe that might help, because I got to get money into the Ethereum so that I can start publishing my art as cryptocurrency, as NFTs, and I got to get it, you know, and it's like I've been trying to do this for months. Text Ben, docs Ben, yeah. Ben doesn't believe he's all up the butt of Jack Stoof and Wyoming and K-Pro and that, and she comes on there and blabs her freaking factual bullshit. I mean, okay, she brought you the GPS. Did it prove to be correct? No. Brought you the what was that other river? There was another place, and then there was 9 Mile Hole, and the Madison Junction, and that isn't right. None of that is right. If it was in Yellowstone, they probably would have arrested Forrest for putting it there, and if you found it there, you'd probably get arrested for taking it. It just don't make sense. There is no Yellowstone solved. One Wyoming is alternating mountains and valleys. And I don't think Summers is the lawyer that's in charge. The lawyer that's in charge is like the one that supposedly working with Stu and stuff. You know, that guy. And he's got a very important position with this government of New Mexico, you know, and yeah, I can't. But then, you know, government is some of the most corrupt people on the planet. They are the most corrupt people on the planet. Yeah, just look how corrupt the one lawyer in the chase is. There was another lawyer in the chase, right? He was following Toby and stuff. There was a lawyer involved in in the chat and stuff, a bunch of his groups. And you don't see, the lawyers are afraid of Barbara, like the Tasmanian devil. Duck, goose. Yeah. Let me show you a couple pictures of what I got the other day. Let's see. Yeah, and I came on today because so I got a phone call coming tomorrow. Where'd it go there? I turn it that way. Turn it that way. You see, there's figures in there. There's people in there carved in the rocks. And oh, I like this one here. This one here because look, you see the hand with the thumb, the arm with the hand and the thumb, and he's holding it looks like a little box or somebody's head or something, but there's like writing on there. And that's funny that the BLM blames us all on elephants did all this rock carving. You see, there's a face there. There's an eye, another eye, the nose, and the mouth. Oh. So, and there's this, this big hand. This is an arm. There's the thumb. Here's the hand. And it's got somebody cradling somebody in his hand, I think. But that's amazing. It's in the rocks. I think I had the raw picture for that. Oh, no, it's the other one. This is the first one I showed you before it was processed by the art thing. And you see there are figures in the rocks. People in the cracks. People in the cracks. Yeah. That's cool. I got to animate him. But you see there's a person standing here on the left side of that head. And then there's, let's turn that. Yeah. Zoom. And here, you see the faces and there's figures in the, there's face down there, the face there. People in the rocks. Guy on top. Big cat. Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of shit in them rocks. Yeah, look, this is a profile of the head. He's got that big hook nose. There's stuff in the other rocks too. And you know what I say that the ancient people, why the BLM says, oh, we know there were mammoths here because they scarred the rocks with their tusks. Okay, well, the people they used those rock formations as corrals. Those were the pens that kept them big mammoths contained. It was like their stockade, and it's like people don't understand. It was a different world. They didn't have Ford F-250s. You had a mammoth. You put your whole family on it. Yeah. Look up Moses the garden toad. I can't wait to get Starlink. Just waiting to upload. I want my Starlink dish. I want my other chair. This one is it's supposed to tilt back, not side to side. But I need one of them chairs, like they got that little, spring fucking in the playground rides, the little horse on the spring that you rock back and forth. So I need one of them springs with a chair on top of it here. That's all I need. Just a chair that on top that swivels. I need the back support. Yeah. Champler chicken night. Yeah, and there was a Chick-fil-A ad in my Facebook today, and I told him, you know what, you need a Chick-fil-A here in Alamosa on this end, on the east end of town, and here's a location perfect for it, right, the intersection of two highways, because anytime you want to go get some want to run into town, you got to not only drive in, you got to go to the other end of town before you get to the fast food. It's all on the other end. Put one on this end, and everybody coming from this way is more likely to stop at your fast food before they drive through town. And I don't think anybody's watching anymore, so I'm probably gonna. What do we have? Oh, let's see. There's nobody coming to join me after Rick left. 17 watching now. I got more watching without Rick. There's the link at the top there in the chat if you want to come in. Talk about this fake finder, fake selling, fake auction, fake museum, fake hole, fire hole. I can still receive messages and stuff while I'm streaming. It is one of my, oh, where did it go? Dang it. After it loaded, there it is. Is it going to play? Okay, I gotta be careful showing this. Yeah. Come on, stupid phone. Play normal speed. So I just animated, that's the picture, and I animated it to show you what I seen in the picture. There's somebody there with his laying down with his head on his arm. So that's pretty freaking cool. um, and this is okay. Dang phone. I probably have to turn my phone off and back on again because it doesn't want to. But you know, there's this rock. And you know, you got to animate it. You got to trim it and animate it so people see what's there in the rock. And what's there in the rock is people haven't changed. Yeah, the elephants did that. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I got to make some more of these animations of what's to show what's in these, you know. And I don't know why the hell this phone is being so slow. Okay, that does it. Boom. Power off. Power off. Yeah. No reason for that phone to be so slow unless somebody's freaking spying on me, using my data. And I'm not, the phones ain't supposed to be slowed down. The computer is. No, I don't think I'll be doing that. There is an animal though that I found likes to. You're walking along a trail and there's a rock there with a turd on top of it. What animal poops on top of a rock like that? Get some elephants to poop. Yeah, yeah. I already told the people that are cloning the mammoth. I sent them a picture of my mammoth parade and stuff, and I had to send them. I got to send them a link about the elephant rocks too, and tell them that's why this would be an excellent place when you do bring the mammoth back. Bring them here because they've been here before. Turn that phone back on. Well, what one thing? Yeah, I got a T-Mobile phone, right? And I go on there. What network am I on? Northeast Colorado Cellular. It's like, why aren't I on the T-Mobile network that's available here? Because if we put you on that one, we can charge you roaming, and you use up your roaming in 3 days. Store world of shit. Okay. I'm going to get a bumper sticker now that says, "Don't shit on my world." And that's a picture on my background. It's starting to load up. Alarm off. No alarms. It was set for 3 in the afternoon. Don't shit on my rock. Yeah. Don't rock my shit. Rock the boat, but don't rock my shit. You know, maybe once a few people shit on Mars, it'll have an atmosphere. There's like so little air there, man. If things went bad, you're gonna suffocate because there's not enough air there. I don't know what they do to make it so there is air on Mars. I don't know if it has a shield. It doesn't have a magnetic shield to protect itself. And so what they would have to do, they're saying to give, they would make an artificial magnetic shield for Mars that would protect it from radiation and protect from the atmosphere blowing off and shit. Rock poop. Yeah. Shit pizza, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not here to talk shit. Yeah. Have you seen the show where they were finding some scientists in Japan trying to find a way to turn shit into hamburger? I mean, I was like, oh no way, man. How could you even think of doing something like that? Uh-huh. Okay. Well, there's nobody else coming in, I guess. It's not too late, but otherwise I'm going to end it here on that shitty note. And y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. Don't believe the bullshit they're putting out about this stuff. And I mean, you know, Packer Jack, he seems to be a nice guy, but I think somebody's probably trying to defraud him out of quite a bit of money, and he ought to be a lot more careful. You want to be able to examine the treasure yourself, physically touch it and all that before you give him a frickin' penny. And if it turns out that way, my book, like I said, my book is not going to be friendly. It's going to completely show my solution from point A to treasure chest. And I'm the one that said long before the announcement that it was found that the treasure was in his will. Even if it wasn't in his will, it's in something in the form of that same type of structure. That his will is his will, whether it's in this document or not. He has another document that covers it. Send me my shit. Yeah. you don't want to. Oh. Now I gotta find that, huh? Yeah, watch this. These guys that drive around Bakersfield, and they got police scanners and stuff, and they go to all the crime things and all. And they say these guys take in like $1,000 a night in donations and super chats and shit. It's freaking crazy. Just send us it. It's like, really? Send me money? I don't have a problem receiving money. My PayPal's on my main page, my YouTube channel. Oh, come on. Roll. No roll. Won't do that for me. And it's not there. It's not on my computer. Really, it isn't on the computer. For real. For real. Not there. Why doesn't the there it is. There you go. Yeah. I'm running out of things to talk about. I'm waiting for the lawyers to get their stuff together and get this over with. Stop playing games. You keep playing games. I mean, you gotta play games like that with the real solver and expect them not to get pissed off at the bullshit. These people never had to fight for anything. They all went to courts and with their legal prowess got everything they wanted, Yeah. So yeah, nobody talking. I don't think Summers is the one with the keys. It's one of the other lawyers, and who knows, it might be one we never even heard of. And that person doesn't give a shit. He's doing what he was told to do, and being as cold-hearted, cold-blooded. Lawyers are cold-blooded. Yeah. Lawyers are cold-blooded. And it could be the family doesn't even have a part of it. It's the lawyers that are holding things up. Boy, that's a bright light over there. And it's not the train. It might be the train. Oh, well, I'm done. I'm going to finish off my cheesecake that I got in the fridge. It's my dessert. Evidence. Yeah. Except for the torture. Yeah. Yeah, I have all the. I got the Buffalo Cowboy, the physical. You got to have the medal to solve it. I have the medal. It was at the end of the rainbow. The rainbow is the Columbine. The Columbine represents colorful Colorado and the rainbow. And And right after the wooden lumberjack is the Rainbow Market. So I'm gonna go. You know, people talking about poop and stuff, that's not what I'm here for. Tentative night. Yeah, I'll get some sleep. See y'all later. Thanks for watching.